What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my first impression and the stat speculation of the Book IV Midpoint Banner. So this banner definitely took a lot of people by surprise for a lot of reasons, and we'll talk about that. So the first thing that we have on this banner is Anna, and this is not the recruitable Anna from Awakening, this is the Apotheosis Anna. So for those of you who haven't played Awakening, or if you didn't play the DLC, basically, Awakening had this Apotheosis DLC, which was the toughest DLC out there. So even in normal mode, you would need your units to have optimal skills. You would need your units to be like pretty much near max stats. And on higher difficulties, you absolutely need like optimal units to beat this DLC. And it was a super hard DLC. Anna had like ridiculous stat spread in that DLC. She was pretty much like a final boss in a sense. And she's basically based on that Apotheosis DLC, and you could see many legendary weapons like Radavis, Mercurius on her backpack that she has got, so that is pretty funny. And Anna even had a skill called Rightful God, I believe, in that DLC, which Grima has, so you could imagine what kind of ridiculous boss unit Anna was in that DLC. So kind of meme, so they definitely took that from that DLC. And fun fact, Anna is actually the first Lance Infantry unit after Shiro in 2017 to be added into the normal summoning pool. So that is just incredible because Duo Ephraim never really got added into the normal summoning pool. So she's the first one after Shiro in 2017 as the Lance Infantry unit, and that is ridiculous. So she is not really appearing to be that ridiculous just from her like base kit, I would say, compared to Awakening DLC. But we'll have to see about her stat spread. So she has got Apotheosis Spear, once again as I said, because of that DLC. It gives her +3 speed, and she can move a space adjacent to an ally within 2 spaces. So kind of similar to what Noatan has got, you know, the movement skill. This is definitely pretty good for movement, of course. And this can be pretty nice to be used in something like Ether Raid's defense to just catch your opponent off guard. So that's always going to be fun. And at start of combat, if the foe has got more than 75% health, then she gets +5 speed and attack during the combat. And this is a pretty easy condition to fulfill. And this isn't really as strict as many of the weapons that work strictly only when the opponent is at full health. So this is overall a pretty decent weapon. She's got Rally Attack Speed Plus, Attack Speed Form, and Attack Speed Ruse. So we can see the theme with her base kit. She's screaming that she's gonna be an offensive unit who's gonna be really fast. And of course we have got Joint Drive Speed in the skill family of the Joint Drive skills. And this is a really great skill because it can give speed to her allies and also to herself. And that is just going to be a pretty good thing for a speedy unit like her. So here, she is going to be attacking this red mate. So I tried to speculate the stats based on this. She doesn't really have any kind of special. So this is the stat spread I'm expecting on her. Just, you know, a fast Lance Infantry unit basically, with decent stat spread overall. And she is going to be extremely fast actually because her weapon gives her +3 speed. So that is definitely going to be pretty unique to see, as we don't really have the most amount of Lance Infantry units in this game. So that is going to be Anna. And then we have got Sayri, and she doesn't really have any kind of voice acting in English. And they say that her English voice lines will be implemented in the game at a later date. I would say that this is probably because of the pandemic going on. Not every voice actor has got a home studio built up to meet the quality standard of Nintendo, so maybe there might be some issues. That's why they were not able to get her voice lines. But yeah, this will definitely be added in a later update when things get better in the world, I guess. So Sayri is just another sword infantry unit, and she's definitely going to be facing insane amount of competition. She better have a pretty unique stat spread. Otherwise it's looking pretty hard because her weapon is Amatsu, which gives her -1 special cooldown and basically a conditional distant counter effect, where if she's above half health, then she can have the distant counter effect. This is pretty similar to Ocean's weapon, and it's just a sword variant. However, the problem is that we have got very power crept sword infantry units like Marita, Larse, Shannon, stuff like that, who just fill this kind of archetype. And Larse and Marita in particular do have -1 special cooldown and also have effects on their weapon that make them really strong and cannot be run on slot A, unlike Distant Counter. So they can easily have that kind of weapon and run distant counter on their slot A and just get way out of that. But for Sayri, she has got distant counter built into her weapon. She's got Iceberg, which is definitely pretty weird for a fast unit. And we'll see why that is. Kestrel Stance 3, so finally the skill is here. Kestrel Stance was never like a very good skill, and it's only available on Legendary Ryoma, so another fun fact, you would have to fodder off your Legendary Ryoma if you wanna inherit Close Call 3 and Kestrel Stance 3 at the same time, which is like, why? Just give us Kestrel Stance on some kind of easily available unit. So she's got that, and she has got Close Call, of course, which Marita also has. And the reason why she's got Iceberg is that she's gonna be having a really weird or unique, I guess you could say, stat spread, because she goes for Iceberg, and it pretty much tells us that she is gonna be having 34 resistance, which means that she's not gonna be having that much defense because she takes quite a bit of damage from this Book Cavalier. She should not be taking over 25 damage, so I think that she's definitely gonna be like having more resistance but having less defense, which is like a unique spin-off, I guess, on these sword infantry units, because most of these fast sword infantry units have better defense than resistance. And I think that she's gonna be having 34 base attack, and she's definitely gonna be pretty fast at 42 or even 43 speed. So that is gonna be Sayri. And then we have got Mustafa. So he's basically a unit you fight in chapter 10, and he is just a Kama's archetype. You know, he doesn't have any kind of ill will towards your army, but he's bound by his duty to fight for his nation. That's basically what a Kama's archetype is, and Mustafa just fits in that. So he basically considers Henry his second son, and it's really unique because Pelagians are usually shown to us in this kind of really aggressive manner, but Mustafa is a Pelagian general who's really kind and actually respects his opponent. He even tells Crom to surrender because he didn't want to like fight them after what happened to Emmeryn, and he even tells his men to escape if they don't want to fight shepherds. And he just fights himself because he's scared that Gangrel will just murder his family if he doesn't. So Mustafa is definitely a pretty interesting character, even though he just appears for like one chapter and he's just an enemy unit. But still, I know many people are really big fan of his and also fan of his design. So he's an axe infantry unit, and if you didn't already guess that a male unit is going to be a demote, then here you could see his base kit, which just screams that he's going to be a demote. And even at the end, they explicitly state that he's going to be a 3-star, 4-star demote, and he's going to be a 4-star focus unit on this banner. So you could definitely plus and merge him in less amount of orbs than you would usually need to plus in a unit. Barrier Axe Plus is finally in the game as a variant to Rear Guard Plus. He has got Bonfire, Water Boost, Defense Tactic. So Defense Tactic being in the 3-star, 4-star pool is going to be really, really nice. Water Boost in 2020 is definitely a big meme. But IS seems to be a big fan of memes, so I guess we have that. But I'm really happy for Defense Tactic. So here, he's gonna get doubled by the blue Manakete, which just suggests us that he's gonna be slow. Definitely having lower than 25 speed, I would say, because these generic Manaketes have got around 30. And he's gonna be doing his bonfire damage, so we could calculate his defense stat, and we can also calculate his attack stat from the damage he's doing. So I think he is basically going to be a Ross who is slower and has got better bulk. So Ross also has 38 base attack, he also has a super boon in attack, but he has got way more speed, and he doesn't have that much resistance compared to Mustafa. I think this is what he might end up being, basically. So a bulky enemy face unit is what he's going to be. So he could be a decent unit to plus and merge for arena scoring, I guess, and he's not really that bad of a tank at all, because he could have good mixed bulk if he's gonna be that slow. Surely, you know, he's gonna get min-maxed, but once again, he's gonna be facing competition from Echidna, Ross, and now, I guess, Groom Hinata, but still, Mustafa is definitely looking pretty juicy, I would say, stat spread-wise. So those are the Awakening units on this banner, and then out of nowhere, we have a Mythic unit. So the only time we've got a Mythic unit on this kind of normal banner is when Book 3 came out with Air, and when Book 4 came out with Peony, but never in the middle of the book. So she gives Anima Blessed allies resistance and Aether Raid's defense, and she's a sword flying dancer. And Mirabilis being a dancer as a defensive mythic unit is pretty great because it gives you a bit of flexibility compared to when if you have to run someone like Duma or Lif. So Mirabilis is just there to do the role of a dancer for your Ether 8's defense team. And you can always run Thrusier with her, and she actually has pretty good synergy with Thrusier. So she's a pretty new OC. I didn't expect her to be out so soon, but here she is. She's got Flower of Ease. It gives her +3 resistance, and if penalty is active on any foes within 3 columns centered on unit, then it inflicts -3 attack, defense, and resistance on the foes during the combat. She's got Whimsical Dream as her dance assist skill. It gives +5 attack to the target allies and allies within 2 spaces of the target. And it inflicts -5 attack debuff on nearest foes within 4 spaces of target ally and any foe within 2 spaces of those foes through their next action. So she can debuff multiple foes, and that is really great. And this is an attack debuff which is universally useful on any kind of foe. So this is a really great assist skill, and she's got Fortress Defense Res, Sabotage Defense, and Defense Res Cap. So just this base kit alone just tells you that she's not going to be that fast, and she's definitely going to be on the bulkier side because of the Slaughter skill and the fact that she doesn't really get the speed penalty from her weapon. And here we can see her getting doubled by an Axe Flyer. So she's definitely having less than 30 speed for sure, because these guys usually have 35 and above speed. So this is the stat spread I'm expecting on her. Yeah, this is the stat spread I'm expecting on her. So I think she's going to be having around like 34 attack and then having really high resistance, because usually any kind of sabotage user that Intelligent Systems has released has got like at least above 37 resistance most of the time. And I think she is going to be having pretty low speed. We did see Mila recently who was pretty min-maxed. So I think similar thing is going to be happening with Mirabilis. And she's not really going to be having BST, same as Astronaut of course, because Dancer BST penalty is a thing. So she could have a BST similar to this. Can even go up to 158 actually. So I'm just expecting her to be a bulky dancer basically with really low speed. And Mirabilis is really great for Anima season because, like, as it is, Astra Mythic units that we have got in Naga and Altina aren't really the greatest support units like Peony and Air in the light season, and even now Mila. So Astra season is usually a bit harder on the offense because of how inflexible these mythic units are that we have got. And it's usually easier to get the defense wins in the Astra season because of the same reason. And we of course have someone like Thrusier, who's a really insane nuke as an Anima Mythic unit. And now we have got Mirabilis, who's definitely better than Lef for sure, and definitely better than Duma in many aspects. Duma is still useful for destroying the structures of opponents, but still Mirabilis gives you a lot of flexibility, and you could always run ground orders on her to just increase the amount of gimmicks that you have got on her Ether 8's defense team to make the prediction of the AI movement for your opponent harder. So yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing her being a very powerful mythic unit, and she is actually present on a banner that has got a spark system. So you could get a guaranteed 5-star unit after 40 summons basically. And here they show that. So here is Mirabilis. You could get her after spending 135 orbs because Forging Bonds is available for this banner. So getting a mythic unit in just 135 orbs is really good value for your orbs, because when they return on a legendary or mythic banner, they're going to be sharing colors with 2 more units. And here she just shares color with Sayri, who does have Close Call and Kestrel Stance 3, so decent fodder. But on a legendary or mythic banner, she might share color with someone like legendary Marth or, you know, legendary Realma, who are not really going to be giving you that much value. And it's usually harder to get the specific unit you want out of legendary and mythic banners. So this is basically the best chance you have got to get Mirabilis. So if you're interested in a Anima defense mythic unit, then you should definitely go for this for your defense team, because right now in Ether 8, defense mythic units are basically a necessity if you want to rank better, because you could have a perfect offense, but if you get like 2 -80s on your defense, which doesn't have a like defensive mythic unit, then it's gonna be like hurting your rank very hard, and you might not even be in the top 3,000 even if you have like a perfect offense. So that's why, like, if you care about ranking in Ether 8s, then defensive mythic units are definitely a pretty big necessity. And even if like you don't really care about rankings, it's still easy to just slap them on to have the lift reduction, so you could easily offset them even if you're just someone who just plays in tier 21 to stay in it for the consistent rewards. And we're also going to be getting Gangrel as a Grand Hero Battle unit, and he appears to be a dagger unit with a preferred dagger. He's got 11 sword on his belt, which is pretty funny, but he's a dagger unit actually. And we also have Emmeryn added into Meteor Heroes page, so she's also in the game, but it's unclear how she's going to be given out because like Tempest Trial apparently isn't on the calendar this month, and like Gangrel is already a Grand Hero Battle unit, and it doesn't make much of a sense for Emmeryn to be a Grand Hero Battle unit. So maybe we get a FEH channel tomorrow which introduces a new game mode that can give us free units, and maybe Emmeryn is like the first free unit from that new game mode. I don't really know, it's not really confirmed, but she appears to be having Rehabilitate Plus, so that's the staff that she has got. Infantry Healer, I don't think she's gonna be that coveted, so I do think that she's probably gonna be a free unit. But don't quote me on this, we don't really know too much, we just know that she exists in the game, and at this point we're just speculating. So let me know in the comments what do you think, how Emmeryn is going to be given out, through Tempest Trial or through some unprecedented method like how Kaze was given out in Grand Conquest a couple of years back. So that is going to be my stat speculation and first impression. I want to thank all of my YouTube members for their support, and if you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and share this video with your friends who are really excited for this banner. Maybe they might like the stat speculation, and please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as lazy as Mirabilis. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.